Brightest blessings. This is a respond to Jeremy's video, and basically he's going on about how people are just being showy pagans lately, and sadly, and I do mean sadly and regrettably, he is 100% correct on this. I mean, you got people claiming to be a pagan marching down the street saying, "I'm a witch, I'm a pagan, I'm I'm this, I'm that, and I have the biggest pentacle, and I have the biggest rocks, and I have the biggest crystals, and I'm showing you my tools and all this stuff." You know, people don't realize that you don't need tools to be a witch, to be a Wiccan, or to be a pagan, especially to be a pagan. You know, for the longest time and most of my practice, I didn't really use any tools. For a cauldron, and when I burnt things, I burnt them in a fire safe pit that I had dug elsewhere. Or if I had to burn them in the house, I used a pot that was completely ruined. I just burnt it in the pot. You know, if you need a knife for something, I didn't have a ceremonial knife. I didn't have a boline, and I certainly did not have an athame. I did not have a wand. A finger works just fine. You know, you are your own tools. And some of my most magical things that I've ever done, and some of the best results I've ever had, is without official magical tools. Yeah. And I have a few now. You know, I have a chalice because I thought it was pretty, and my friend owned it, and she was in financial problems, and she was trying to sell it, and I always thought it was a gorgeous chalice, and I didn't want to not see it anymore whenever I came over. So I bought it from her. And I have to say, it's one of the most rarely used tools that I have. However, you know, because I never used a chalice. I used a cup. You know, it's you're right. It doesn't mean anything, you know. I just bought a mortal and pestle because I want to start making my own candles, and I need to start grinding my own herbs for that. So I think, even though I haven't done it yet, that will probably be my most used tool that I have. You know, everybody uses an athame to draw down the moon. I don't do that, and I refuse to use an athame to draw down the moon. You know, I do have a wand. It's not because I bought it. It was actually a gift given to me. I always had said that I probably would not get a wand because I wanted a wand made out of a specific wood that most wands are not made out of. And you don't see it anywhere in the Wiccan books. You really don't. I had to really search to see what the wood meant. It was a wood that I was drawn to, and I really wanted to find the meaning, and I finally did find the meaning in a shaman book. And I got all excited because it is what I live my life to be, what I live my life through. And one day I actually had a really good friend and a coven sister. She uh, she made me one, and it was perfect. It wasn't too flashy. It was just perfect for my personality. And when I do use it, it works well. It works damn well. But I think I've used it on a total of 3 occasions. So it's one of my better used tools. But you know, the thing is that he's right. Paganism has become too much of a signpost between people wearing the shirts and the jewelry. Sometimes I see people with rings on their fingers, all of their fingers, and necklaces and pence and all that stuff. I don't use jewelry. I'm not a big jewelry fan. There is one thing I do use, and I wear it at all times, and I never take it off. I wear it in the shower. I wear it when I'm sleeping. I wear it at all times. And yes, I wear it at work as well. Sometimes it's within my shirt, and sometimes it's not. If I'm in a more accepting work environment, I try not to even pay attention if it's even out of my shirt or not. And it's my pants, and here it is. Can y'all see it? Okay. That's the one thing I never take off. Again, sometimes it's in the shirt, sometimes it's not. But people are making a joke out of the pagan religion. I mean, they even have a pagan YouTube awards coming up to recognize people for the best educational video and the best female representative and the best male representative and the best songwriting and poetry and all this stuff. You don't need to be recognized. In fact, I'll put the link to the original video put up by this person over there. And she has had several other announcements, such as now they have sponsors, which really just drove me up the wall with that one, you know. And of course, the winners are going to get a small little prize, and she's just plugging the shit out of these sponsors. And that's nice if they want to do this, but I don't think I'd want to sponsor something like this. Paganism is not something to be. It's not the next Academy Awards, for Christ's sake. It's not. You know? And, you got this other gal, let's just say the animal lover, showing all of her showy things and her big old crystals and all that stuff. You know, and the funny thing is that she's showing her ignorance every time she opens her mouth. Supposedly she's a Wiccan and the only true Wiccan because she's following the Wiccan Rede because she doesn't eat animals. She doesn't realize that the horned god in many cultures is known as the hunter. But how could you be pagan or Wiccan? How could you be a true Wiccan if you hunt animals? She doesn't realize that the Wiccan Rede is not a commandment. It's not like the 10 Commandments from Christianity or the 15 from Judaism. It is not a commandment. It is a simple poem, and it is simply a suggestion, a damn good suggestion that I happen to follow. But I don't think that you need to follow it to be a true Wiccan. And I don't think that you have the right to sit there and bash people and say, you're not a true Wiccan because you don't follow the Wiccan Rede. Well, you know what? You don't need to. I personally do. And to sit there and chastise and bash you, that sounds more like Christianity than anything else. I follow the right path, but you don't follow the exact same path that I do, so you're not a real Wiccan. Or in that case, a real Christian. Or whatever in the hell. You know what I mean? She doesn't even know. I mean, she claims that she's the only real Wiccan, yet she's constantly referring to hell. Well, last time I checked, most Wiccans do not believe in hell. They do not believe in Satan. They do not believe in the devil. They do not believe in any of that stuff, so why are you talking about burning in hell? And whenever I ask questions about that, she just turns it around and answers another question that I had about animal rights. But, I see where you're going with this. It's ridiculous. And it makes me embarrassed to be a pagan at times. And a Wiccan. So I hear you, brother. I do. And I will be probably in the Salem area around Samhain, and maybe we can meet up. Thank you for your video. Blessed be.